On this week's 2-minute tip, removing drip tape from your vegetable garden. In the past, we've talked about why drip tape is so important, how it allows us to conserve water, to water more efficiently, also reduce diseases by reducing leaf moisture, and how burying the drip tape is the most effective way to use it. But how do we remove that drip tape when our crops are done? Well, actually, removing the drip tape is really easy. You just want to grab the tape either at the end of the row or the beginning of the row, walk along the row, and you can pull it right up out of the soil. And for your crops like sweet corn, which have a little larger root system, one thing you need to do before you pull that tape up. So once you're done harvesting your sweet corn, go in there with a machete and cut those stalks while they're still green. If you cut the stalks while they're green, they're going to dry out or desiccate a lot faster. And then once you've cut those stalks, wait a few weeks, and you'll be able to go in there and yank that tape right up out of the ground. Now once you've pulled that tape up out of the ground, you've got a couple options. What we do most of the time is leave it connected at the main line, pull the tape over the main line on the other side of the garden on the grass. We'll cultivate the area, put the tape right back down, and plant something else there. So in that case, you never have to disconnect the row start from the main line. Now if you're done growing in that area for a while, you may want to disconnect everything and use a goof plug to plug that hole in the main line. Or if you're using these drip tape row starts here, you can just take the tape off, leave the row start connected, turn the valve off, and that's going to serve as a goof plug to keep water from coming out of that main line. Now for the 8 mil tape, I can usually get about 4 crops off that before I need to replace it. Like I said earlier, because we're growing food year round, we usually just put the tape right back down. But if you're only growing one garden per year, you can certainly save that tape and use it next year. And when you're pulling up the drip tape, it's a good idea to go ahead and wash those fittings. You want to make sure you wash out all that dirt and grit that gets between the nut and the barb on those fittings. That way they'll perform well for you the next time you use them. So for those of you that are already using drip tape, or those of you that are thinking about starting to use drip tape, hope that clarifies some things there about how we remove and reuse the tape. Hope you enjoyed this week's 2-minute tip. We'll see you next week.